All right, welcome into another episode of the Level Playing Field podcast. We have a great conversation we had today. We have a special guest, a recurring guest, our first recurring guest. Larry, you're back to have a fantastic conversation with us. And hot in the news today, we're going to start
Very
off
good.
with Jaxson Dart introducing Trump at a speaking engagement, a rally, and getting some pushback on that. And we're going to tie that into a classic topic on the podcast about how Tim Tebow went through the same thing as he, kind of got blackballed with the NFL, and kind of seeing how that was like 10 years ago and apparently nothing's changed. And then kind of what we saw in the NBA about a month ago now. So we'll start there and see where the conversation takes us. But Dennis, Larry, where do you guys want to start?
I would tell you this. It's disgusting that a quarterback in the NFL voiced his opinion, which, we're in our 250th anniversary of our founding fathers, this tremendous country that they established. And today, 250 years later, everybody's celebrating it. A quarterback can't announce a president of the United States that at a function without being harassed and humiliated, and he might end up getting traded or fired over it, because that's just how things work. And I believe the Giants owner is a Catholic, but just moving right along here. Yeah, I believe he's a Catholic. A friend of mine, Brad Benson, who moved in here by me in Pennsylvania, was telling me how, when he played, he was a Catholic, and that it was a Catholic team. I mean, that's when they had tremendous success. But now today, a quarterback can't announce the President of the United States, an NBA star, an NBA player, right, talks and speaks up against homosexuality according to the scriptures, and he quoted Jesus. He gets fired, loses his pension, loses his salary because he spoke up for Jesus. And of course, the legendary Tim Tebow, we all know. And by the way, I had a conversation with Wilkins Radio, our radio station that all you folks who listen to us on. One of their executives said to me that had Tim Tebow not talked about Jesus, he would have had a spectacular career in the NFL. So where are we really going? And then now I'm going to let you weigh in after this. But where are we going when the legendary Father Frank Pavone, who I love and know is a dear friend of mine, speaks up, changes the policy with the current president of the United States on abortion, that since 1963, everybody in every way, shape, or form tried to get that struck down. Father Frank Pavone stands up for the unborn, convinces the President of the United States to strike that down with the Supreme Court, and Frank Pavone gets banned by the Catholic Church, for God's sake, Larry. I mean, weigh in on those. What are we talking about here?
Well, I'll also bring to your attention that Kelsey Reinhardt, the current president of Catholic Vote, called for a congressional hearing on Trevor Williams of the Washington Nationals. James O'Keefe, the undercover expert, if you will, who's been muckraking forever, caught some of the Nationals staff saying that because Trevor Williams was a Catholic, they would not use him on social media. They were acing him out. I mean, there's blatant discrimination going on for anybody who's religious. And yet, most of the teams have a chaplain on payroll and do have, as part of their employee assistance programs, to deal with anybody who's got kid problems or drug problems or alcohol problems or pregnancy problems, all those types of things. They have chaplains to pray with them. And many of the groups have mass at the stadium before games, during practices, this type of thing. So there's a real dichotomy there. I think part of the problem is the people that they hire. When you start hiring artistic people who happen to be gay and then therefore anti-Catholic,
and by
right?
the way, Larry said artistic,
people
not
will tell
autistic. just to get that straight. I mean,
Wow.
autistic.
That's right,
Children
artistic.
are so beautiful. Wonderful.
It's just the nature of the beast, right? People in theater, people in PR, a lot of them are homosexual, and that's just it. And then their whole sense is warped as to what reality is, right? They think that in their community, anybody who's blatantly Catholic is anti them and therefore shouldn't be given any space.
That would be the prime example of athletics today in America. You know, that we have the NHL players kissing each other at a hockey game in Philadelphia. Disgusting. They have and look, it shouldn't be something that people are going to use in a platform. But if they're going to let them, there's nothing wrong with a baseball player or a football player or a basketball player speaking up on behalf of Jesus Christ. And people got to understand this. And this is what I always tell anyone that I witness to about homosexuality. I say, listen, I didn't say it. This is the teachings of Jesus Christ, that one man shall leave his mother and father, and one woman shall leave her mother and father, and unite and become one. Unite and become one. And it's the greatest gift in the world. The sacrament of marriage is such an awesome thing. And to think that the nationals are discriminating against a Catholic brother who is standing up for what he's taught, or an MBA brother who's standing up for what he was taught by Jesus, not by the Catholic Church, not by the Protestant Church, not by the Orthodox Church. This is the teaching of Jesus Christ. It's not our opinion. It's not our opinion. It's his opinion. It's his teaching. So look, you know, it should not be an opposite issue that men and women are being discriminated against because they're standing up. And I mean, come on, the President of the United States, I mean, every president from the beginning of our great country 250 years ago to now, any chance they got to have visitors, to welcome them and to introduce them, it's gotten so bad to think that this is what's making headline news today, Andrew. I mean, this is what the headlines are.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
Well, that's it. I mean, and when it comes down to it, it's hypocrisy. It's, I can spread my message, but you can't spread yours. And Larry, you said it. It's the overgeneralization of like, well, if you're a part of the gay community, then anything that has to do with Christianity is bad. If you're a part of it's this dichotomy, and then there's a middle ground. There is a middle ground somewhere in there, and you can coexist, and there is love and support to be given out, and help to be given out from everyone, because we all are human. But at that same time, don't come out and vilify the second, and don't sequester, and don't put down, and especially don't suppress someone's voice, because if you do that, my God, it is a slippery slope. If you go off and say you cannot pray here, and then say, well, I can wear my rainbow flag, I can kiss someone on center ice, I can do all of this, but you can't say the Our Father before a game. You, especially even in the team locker room where no one sees it, but there's that, you can't do that, but I can do my thing. The hypocrisy is so sweet that you can't even it's not even worth having a conversation about it. So from that perspective, you just sit back and you're like, okay, well, that doesn't make any sense, whatsoever. But it's a shame. It's a shame, really. And you see these people using their platforms in such a misguided way, and it's a shame because it does affect the youth. It affects all these kids who look up to these athletes that are performing at the highest level.
This is the original problem.
I mean, we all know, Dennis, you performed at the highest level, the Olympics, Division I. To get belief in something, you need to push yourself so far beyond what human beings can do, and if you get to that point, and
it starts with having games on Sunday
you're not going to
mornings,
last there
right?
very long,
And practices on Sunday
touch on
mornings. That should be sacred time, family time, and it shouldn't be allowed. Probably not even on Sunday periods. Certainly not Sunday mornings.
Yep.
Let's eliminate property tax in Pennsylvania. Every year, families across our Commonwealth hand over thousands of dollars in property taxes just to remain on land they already own. That's not freedom. Dennis Atiyeh has a plan to eliminate property taxes and help restore the dream of homeownership for Pennsylvania families. No family should live in fear of losing their home while government waste, fraud, and mismanagement continue unchecked. Pennsylvania families deserve relief. They deserve accountability. And they deserve a government that finally puts the people first. This is not another campaign. It's a movement to make real change and take Pennsylvania back for the people.
I'm Dennis Atiyeh, and I approve this message.
Right. Right.
It's a commandment.
Yeah.
It's a commandment. Keep my days holy. You know, the holy days in the church, they have to be kept holy. Sunday mornings is a big issue. But getting back to these athletes, we had Reggie White, legendary defensive lineman for the Eagles and for the Packers. He has such a strong stance against homosexuality. And here's the thing. They attack you and attack you and attack you. Larry, his life was standing up for marriage, and they spit on him at a march, a march for marriage. The homosexuals came out and spit on the brothers and sisters that were marching for marriage. Larry was ridiculed and attacked up in Massachusetts because he was standing up for marriage with Alan Keyes at a function. It's just they're so vicious. I was out to eat, and I had a poster, a little bumper sticker on my back. 1 man, 1 woman equals marriage, right? So Andrew, I go into this restaurant in Allentown, Pennsylvania, right? I come out, somebody took a knife and scratched the hole through it, but not just through the hole, around my entire pickup truck. So, when I was a kid, I had some friends of mine, they had a gay bar in Allentown. I have friends of mine that would go and jump the homosexuals and rob them, lead them on like they were gay. They take them out and they would rob them, right? I said, come on, guys, you can't be doing that type of stuff. You can't discriminate against somebody because they're that way, and let alone beat them and rob them, right? So it's actually funny thinking about it today that they're doing the same thing to us Christians now. Guys that are sticking up for marriage, guys that are for the teachings of Jesus Christ, they're attacking us like we're bad and there's something wrong with us. Hey, I got news for you, man. It's got to stop. And I would tell you, we got to keep praying for them, but we got to put our foot down and keep it strong that, hey, we're just professing Jesus Christ. And don't tell me to or not to. And God bless this quarterback from the Giants and that NBA player who stuck up for it, and this baseball player that's sticking up for his faith, because that's what Tim Tebow did. And he was banned from playing professional football. But guess what? He is the most popular athlete to this day, doing such great things, him and his wife, for autism and for special needs children and for pro-life. He's just such an awesome guy. I'm going to have him on our show sometime in the near future before football season, and we're going to talk about that whole scenario before the next football season. But moving right along, man, listen, there's some good things to talk about. We have the World Cup. We have 5 Pennsylvanians out of the 25 athletes that are on the World Cup team, Andrew. Yeah, that's great, because one of my big problems that I have is with these foreign athletes invading amateur athletics today. I mean, the golf and the tennis and track and field is just pathetic. That we would give 25,000 scholarships, over $1 billion in scholarships every year are going to foreign-born athletes that are in their 20s now. Remember, they're in their 20s. They're not in their teens. They're in their 20s. Our kids are in their teens. Then how do they compete, Andrew and Larry? How do they compete with a 24-year-old? And I know Penn State, your alma mater, is doing this right now, and it really makes me sick. How do they compete with Canadians who play professional hockey in Canada, and they're in their 20s, and our kids are killing themselves, spending tens of thousands of dollars with their parents, going to the Mario Lemieux Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, sacrificing, working, and when it comes time to get a scholarship, they're turning it over to some Canadian kid who played professional hockey in Canada. He's in his 20s. So Michigan, Penn State's top hockey player is from Canada, and he's in his 20s. Tell me about your university, your alumni. What the heck's going on there?
Yeah, I got nothing for you. I got nothing. No, it's about winning. It's about money. That's what it comes down to. Just like I think there's a new bill that's about to hit the floor of Congress right now. I think Ted Cruz is one. It's a bipartisan bill talking about, kind of quote unquote fixing college sports and all of that. And we'll see. I watched an interview with Ted Cruz on I think on Andy and Ari on On3 the other day, and he made some good points. I think.
Well, he's watching our. Listen, they're watching our podcast. That's the only.
Well, I think he made some good
them.
points. I think. I think he said. I think the best thing he said out of that is that when both sides are unhappy, that means you're really getting somewhere. And I think that's what it is. Because the Big Ten and SEC are going to be unhappy because they want to pull the media rights and then they don't want to. It's short-term greed versus long-term success and actually helping the sport grow. Because if the sport grows, everything else grows. But the number one thing they want to do is the transfer portal. They have acknowledged the transfer portal is out of control and all of that. And this also ties into what you were saying with the age limits and all that. But if you're in college now, you have 5 years of eligibility, then you can potentially transfer 4 to 5 times and be across all these institutions. And let's be honest, if you're a kid doing that, you're not going to the NFL, right? You're playing this little game that's created here, and in the long run, you're not getting an education, which is the number one thing you go to college for. So,
and that's what playing, and Andrew, that's what playing 24 games.
Right.
When you're playing 24 games, what the NCAA, the chaotic NCAA is doing, they're trying to create a 24 game football schedule that is just absurd. Look, this isn't baseball, this isn't basketball, this isn't lacrosse, this is football. Yeah. There's major contact every single game that I played in, right? And I was playing Ohio State, Florida State, Notre Dame. We played them all. But when you get done, your hands, your neck, your back, your brain, right? So I played in 11 games in a season in a bowl game, 12. Now they're playing 12 games, and with this 24 games, the 24 team series they're talking about, the kids can actually play in 20 games. What about their brains? What about their bodies?
These are doesn't make any sense. Athletes. So the main thing that's going to come out of that bill, and I think this is the most important part, is that you can transfer once, just like how it used to be. You can transfer once, and if you transfer more than once, you have to sit out a year, you have to redshirt. And then there's also a stipulation if your coach quits on you or trades job. There's medical red shirts, all that kind of stuff is in there, which is good. You should have we want the student athletes to have power and to have autonomy over their experience, but we also can't have the Wild West where you're just $5 million to switch here. This quarterback's over there. This guy's over there. So it's a very interesting world that we live in as far as athletics go. But all that being said, with the bringing in of 25-year-old freshmen from Eastern Europe to play in that basketball tournament, it's
24-year-old punters from Australia that are freshmen that start for Indiana. 30-year-old punter punting for Indiana's national championship team. I mean, that's disgusting.
It doesn't make any sense.
He's a great partier, though.
Andrew, remember this. It's the national.
He's a great partier.
It's a great what? What'd you say?
Yeah.
A great party, of course. That's all we need on the campus is another great party, that they could take those millions of dollars they're getting from NIL and they could take them to Australia to party all the more. But here's the kicker. It's the NCAA. Those monies that are coming in from the federal government and state government are supposed to go to American athletes. They got billions of dollars going to foreign athletes, and that's in tennis, that's in soccer, that's in all of the sports, and particularly track and field, which we're in the middle of the track and field season. It's disgusting. These kids are in their 20s winning gold medals in the NCAA, like 70% of the kids. If you look it up, 60 to 70% of the kids that won medals this year, that are winning medals in the Big Ten and in the NCAA, are 23, 24-year-olds that are from foreign countries. You name the country. I mean, I was watching a kid from Greece to do the hammer throw. I mean, we don't have kids from America to do the hammer throw. We got to get a 20-plus-year-old kid from Greece to do the hammer throw. Won the Big Ten championship. It disgusts me, and that's got to stop. And the NCAA, the guys that run the NCAA, Larry and Andrew, it's supposed to be a non-for-profit. All 10 of the board members are making 7 figures plus to sit on a board as as volunteers. But I want to be on the NCAA not for profit. The board. So they're wackos. They need to get straightened out. It's great to hear that Ted Cruz is joining Donald Trump, and they're going to get the NCAA straightened out. It's a big issue.
It's very interesting. It's very interesting. And when it comes down, it's really funny actually, because I listen to a lot of podcasts. I like to stay up to date, not only with sports, but like politics and all of that. And the other day I was listening to this, and I'm doing my work. It's kind of on in the background. And I'm like, what am I listening to right now? Am I listening to a political podcast? I could have swore I turned on a college football podcast. And it's like the same conversation I hear if it's politics. Oh, the system's broken. This is broken. I turn on college football. Oh, the system's broken. This is broken. I'm like, it's the same theme. No matter what you're talking about, there's this underlying theme in our society that it's broken. And I wonder why.
Yeah, no
and
doubt.
that stems back to
It's so bad.
conversation.
It's so bad. Larry's going to tell you guys about the Chinese.
Yeah.
They're actually. Go ahead, Larry. Tell them about what
There's
the
a Chinese billionaire who has over 100 children, where he has donated his sperm and hired a surrogate, and had those surrogates come to the United States to have the baby get an American passport with a birth certificate, then bringing them back to China to raise them as communists, so that when they turn 20, they can send them here to college as trained operatives of the Chinese government. This is why Donald Trump says that we can't have birthright citizenship. You don't get to be an American just because your illegal parent was here on vacation. We've got to stop that.
I'm
only laughing because I don't want to cry on the show.
The whole problem
That's
is
the reason
surrogacy and the slavery aspect to that, and right. But when you've got one man who's donating his sperm to all this to become a father and control, it's slavery, right? Not only that, but then the bioengineering that gets involved. None of those kids are going to know who's who, right? And they could wind up dating each other, or their children in the next generation down will absolutely have no idea who their cousins and aunts and uncles are that they could be dating.
Yeah.
And then we get into the problem of crossbreeding. It's diabolical that we're allowing this to happen.
Oh my God. It's demonic. And the thing is, this whole foreign invasion, and they're stealing our jobs. Remember, we have all these foreign students too that are stealing the foreign students are stealing our American students' jobs. And these athletes, just so you know, the $1 billion that we give them every year,
right?
We're training the enemies. Do you understand that? We're training the enemies. We're giving 25,000 scholarships to foreigners. It's so terrible. And those foreigners are taking their engineering, they're taking their sciences, they're taking their medical, and you name the field, technology fields. They're taking that technology back to their foreign countries, and then as a cherry on top, they're stealing our gold medals in the Olympics. They're stealing our silver medals in the Olympics. It's just so absurd. And again, it's not the International Collegiate Athletic Association. Our America was founded for the American citizens, the American dream, okay? And we, the people, the Minutemen, have to stand up and stop it. Mm-hmm. Everybody's got to stand up and stop it. And it's great news to hear that, we have the Catholic vote out to put a stop and end to the discrimination that's happening.
Is that tree becoming a problem? Don't wait until it's too late. At AE Tree, our ISA certified arborists provide expert tree removal, tree trimming, pruning, stump grinding, and emergency storm cleanup throughout the Lehigh Valley. We're fully insured, safety focused, and committed to protecting your home, business, and landscape with professional tree care you can trust. Whether it's routine maintenance or emergency tree service, AE Tree gets the job done right. Call AE Tree today at 484-444-TREE or visit aetreepro.com for your free quote.
But I want to give a shout out real fast to Notre Dame, to Joe Moore Offensive Line Camp, the Joe Moore OLineCamp.com. All right, the camp's June 6th and 7th, man. You guys got to get there. The whole Notre Dame National Championship, offensive and defensive linemen, along with all the Pitt greats, you name them, all the all-pro guys. I'm hearing that number 13 might be there through the grapevine. So Danny might be there at the event. Last minute, I'm hearing this. But look, there's still time to sign up. Call James E. Moore, guys, 412-818-2862. That's 412-818-2862. It's a great camp for the kids. You got any young developing. If they're a D player, they're going to leave a C to B player, and vice versa. A lot of great studs, a lot of great athletes there. Bring them. You still got time. JoeMooreOnlineCamp.com. But Larry, what are your thoughts on what I was talking about? How this whole foreign invasion is just violating the whole American tradition of athletics and citizenship.
Look, when I see a doctor, I want the best doctor. There's no doubt about that. And if he's from India or from China or someplace else, that's fine. The problem comes in when they exclude us having American kids learning and building into the next level, right? So the whole farm team that comes in, we get to the point just like we do with chips that are made in Taiwan that we can't make here. We get to the point where we have all of our expertise leaving the country and the money leaving the country. As you're talking about, all this money comes in as scholarships. The reason that we're giving scholarships is to build America. And when all that money that they make goes home to Romania, Bulgaria, one of these other countries, obviously to help support their families, but also then to build their universities and to take the information. We're worried about Chinese coming in here and espionage to steal our information. And instead, we're now having Chinese students come and teaching it. They're becoming the teachers' assistants and the professors.
It's really sick. And just for note, you know, this is all happening with our money. So we're going to these events and we're going to these pro events and these pro athletes, by the way. Japan has one professional baseball player can play in the Japanese Professional Baseball League. The soccer, Andrew and I covered this. The soccer, 17 players have to be homegrown, right? So why don't we have the same type of policies that need to be instituted that we can have X amount of Americans, only one foreigner is allowed on our teams? Because Larry, what you just said, they're exporting billions and billions of dollars going back to Europe, going back to Canada, going back to Japan. We got a Japanese kid making $700 million to play baseball. That revenue from him playing is going back to Japan, going to South America. We need to keep the money in America. Not in the state of Pennsylvania, they want to legalize marijuana to raise revenues. For God's sake, what a terrible, terrible decision. What they need to do is put a tax and make sure that all these foreign football players, basketball players, baseball players, soccer players, hockey players are all paying their fair share of their taxes back to the state of Pennsylvania. And I'm going to end with that. And Andrew, your thoughts, your last thoughts.
No. Hey guys, I want to take a minute to thank our sponsor, Cobalt Construction. Let Julius and his crew build your dreams and move your mountains. They are located in Mount Pocono, Pennsylvania. You can give them a call today at 570-895-4613 or visit them online at cobalt-construction.com. That's cobalt with a K. They have topsoil, mulch, and everything you need to get your yard ready for the summer season. All right, let's get back to the show. That's really it. I mean, moral of the story is follow the money. That's what it's come down to. I know, like, I heard this the other day. It's like we want to think that sport is this pure thing where it's a wait for it, level playing field. And everyone has the same opportunity to score the goal or to beat the guy right in front of you. That's why we love sport in every form, right? But at the end of the day, where we sit right now in amateur sports, it is not about beating the guy in front of you. It's about the billionaires behind the scenes with the TV money and putting on like these massive conferences and the travel and the logistics and all of that. So it has turned into a billion-dollar industry overnight. And now it's starting to trickle down into amateur athletics where now it's affecting the youth of America and the opportunities that our kids have. It's not about Little League anymore. It's about, everyone's kid is going to be the next Mike Trout or whatever. So.
And they're promoting Andrew, and they're promoting gambling. So, come on and gamble. That's their big thing. That's their big revenue source. But listen, it don't matter what problem you guys have. I want to take just a short period. We have a great website called Armies for Jesus, right? You can go to Dennis, ATIYEH.com. I don't care if you have an alcohol problem, a gambling problem, a pornography problem, a witchcraft problem, whatever that is, you go there, and there's some beautiful Christian Catholics that put this website together, but you can get it at me, DennisAtiyeh.com. And man, we're going to keep praying for you all, keep praying for our country, and God bless America.
Yep. And thanks again, everyone, for listening. From anyone who's on the radio or finding us YouTube, Spotify, or across any social media apps. We love that you guys are commenting and subscribing and interacting with us, because that's how this conversation continues to be pushed forward. And you're not going to get this on CBS Sports. You're not going to get this on ESPN. So we want to thank everyone for listening. We want to thank Larry again for our first recurring guest here on the podcast. So thank you again. You did it. All right, we're official now. But until next time, hey, thanks everyone for listening, and have a great day. Bye, guys.